Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Star Trek New Horizons as the Terran Empire. So yeah. We should be getting an event in a little bit because I played a little bit more using the save that I made at the end of part 1. I played a little bit more personally just to see how things played out. So, or what kinds of events we run into. So we should get an event in the relatively near future that gives us the opportunity to go ahead and theoretically free one of these species. So either the Enar and the Andorians in one, or the Vulcans, or the Tellarites. No idea. However, I believe all that event does is sort of put a hidden flag in, basically, that allows you to get that species as a leader. Because as it stands right now, we can only get Terrans as leaders. But if I were to, say, free the Vulcans, theoretically, if I am understanding this event correctly, we would be able to go ahead and free, or be able to get Vulcan leaders. They would still be all in the enslaved status, but, you know, they'd at least be free. Some of them, at least. The ones that we consider to be good. However, I will go ahead and say this. After that event chain finishes, I will probably be going ahead and releasing, well, not necessarily releasing, but rather putting people into caste system. For one reason only. It's just easier if people are in caste system, because you only gain benefits from being enslaved on food and mineral tiles. I'm like 99% certain that you actually hurt production if you are on a science or a research tile, or excuse me, a science or an energy credit tile. And thus, yeah, if I want people to be most effective, it's actually better for me if they are not on a research tile. Yeah, because you get a minus 75% to production when sitting on research tiles. So, yeah. Like I said, I am sort of leaning towards moving us to caste system later. In fact, what I am going to go ahead and do is set the basic default to being caste system. So, the people that are already within our empire are currently still going to be sitting on the standard chattel slavery. But any new people that we get, say the Romulans or the Klingons or the Ferengi, would all end up being starting out under a caste system. And spent longer than that. I should have probably unpaused the game while doing that, but whatever. But yes, so that is going to be our plan for the future. Because, yeah, they're really not that effective. So, I mean, you definitely shouldn't be working this tile. You're doing a crappy job. Minus 33% to energy credit production because you're enslaved. And you're thrifty as well. So if you weren't enslaved, you'd actually be pretty decent at it. Because you get a plus 15 to the base. So yes, and I am going to have to go and colonize some more worlds or something just to shift people around a little bit. And I believe there's something up here. I know there's a planet up there, but I think there's something else up there as well. But Gem, go ahead and get you upgraded. Earth, if you don't mind, build me another construction ship. And the Tellar Prime sector is going to need me to go and survey the stuff in their area for them. Because they're not allowed to build science ships and survey stuff for themselves. Okay. Yeah, so I could build a service dilithium harvester, which would get me access to raw dilithium, which would allow me to go ahead and it's not actually right here, but would give me a modifier, actually, because they changed it again. It would give me a modifier if I have a certain number of refined dilithium that would add naval capacity. But to be honest, if building this is going to actually remove the minerals, I actually prefer the minerals, because minerals are more useful, generally speaking. While a service lithium harvester, yeah, not as much, if I'm going to be completely honest. At least in my opinion, it's not as good. So, yeah, I need to... I'm gonna go ahead and move you there. Mars isn't going to get anything until I can terraform it, which I will eventually be able to do, and we will eventually do so. That's really expensive. There we go, we got some latium over there. Let's go ahead and get that. And in the meantime, you can go and build some stuff over there. Okay, so I got two choices. I can either get a single size 20 planet, or I can get two planets, one size 13 and one size 10. Can we even colonize Primal? I don't think we can. I think our people are a little bit too upset when it comes to Primal. Leave it be for right now. If you got a 20% chance of failure, I'd rather you not even try it. Let's go and get improved polarized hull plating. Now we have the ability to upgrade our star bases even further, which is certainly not a bad idea, but for now we're going to be focused on trying to spend these minerals on more useful things. As I try to figure out... Yeah, I really need to colonize another world. And I can't colonize glacial. Huh, because apparently the Enar aren't particularly fond of glacial worlds. I would have thought they would be, considering Andoria is an Arctic world, and I would have expected Arctic and Glacier to be close enough, but apparently not. Plus it has an anomaly on it, which is going to prevent me from colonizing it, period. But there we go, that plus 5% to colonization will allow me to colonize that now. I'll take a Ministry of the Interior, I believe, yeah.
Construction complete.
10%? Sure, go for it. Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Because I'm going to end up with an extra person here. You're a Vulcan. You like arid worlds. Mars is considered an adaptable world. How does the game figure you can fare there? 55%. Andorians would do better. I don't think I have an actual Andorian here on Earth, though. No, it looks like it's just Enar. So... Oh, and you're not even a fully grown pup yet, so... actually, you know what? Earth, clear that for me. And Birth of Space Piracy. Also, because this guy has a special trait, the Defiant Captain, yeah, the Defiant can't actually get a new admiral after this guy dies. So eventually, we're going to be stuck with the USS Defiant running around without a admiral in charge of it, or in charge of the fleet, rather. Because we won't be able to add a captain to the ship, basically. Once that's cleared, I'm going to be moving you over there. And I don't think... Yeah, we shouldn't have anybody try to grow into that tile just yet.
We are tracking an enemy fleet.
Oh, colony ships are only 200. You know what, Defiant, I think you can deal with it. Go ahead.
Tile blocking.
We'll have the first fleet go with you as well, because these guys are going to Ross. But first they need to go to Alpha Centauri before they can go to Ross.
Construction complete.
Good for you. And we have the Latium, giving us plus 10% to governing ethics attraction, which doesn't really mean anything, if we're going to be completely honest, but hey, you know, it's a thing. Want you there. And I'm actually going to move you over here.
The enemy is targeting one of our stations.
Oh, that actually killed the Vulcan that was growing here. That's a little surprising. I didn't expect it to actually pay attention to that, but apparently it did. Well, we can correct that. Let's go ahead and get better computers. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that, I had to answer the phone. Okay.
Construction complete.
Come on, Defiant.
System survey complete.
No, don't bother with that one.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Monthly influence, helpful. Let's go and get leader lifespan. And I forgot we got better warp engines. Let's go ahead and pop those onto our ships. Also, for whatever reason, we're not using the... Like, is the game recommending the nuclear? Yeah, I don't know why the game's recommending the nuclear. I really don't. Like, it's saying, oh, it's the one at the top of the list, so it must be better. That's not the way it works, game. It really isn't. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. Because, yeah, the nuclear doesn't have any better range, doesn't have any better damage, no better cooldown, no better tracking. It has literally no benefits to it. But for whatever reason, the game wants me to use nuclear, so we'll have to make sure we swap those out when we get back. Okay, Admiral, the first fleet gained a trait for doing basically nothing. Yeah, no, sorry. Defiant's going to Earth. First fleet, you are going to Andoria. Because I don't want the two of you in the same spot. I just have to remember to not build ships over Earth, because they'll get merged into the fleet with the Defiant and be not able to be removed from the fleet, because that's just the way it is when you have a unique thing here. Actually, you know what? No. Andoria, go and pop me out a destroyer real quick. So you're gonna work there. We don't have any Vulcans on Pajam. See, that's not a good spot for you. Let's go and bring you back to Earth so that you can be more useful. Okay. Put you back there. Put you there. So put you why can't I move you there? Is that pop not fully grown? Because I'm pretty sure they were. Yes, they were. Okay, game. For some reason, the game seems to be acting up there. It did not like the fact that I had the Enar there, and then I moved it on this menu. But it didn't seem to, I guess, register that for whatever stupid reason. Okay. We'll build a food thing there. So, you're in a good tile. Yeah, you're still not. I don't really have anything I can do about that, though. Now, Alpha Centauri is fairly mineral rich, so we're gonna have to save up minerals to build that up. I don't think I really care to colonize it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it really has any particularly decent resources. And you're needing to wait for Andori to build that destroyer for you. Go and build a mining station there. That should be 180 for that.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Leader lifespan. Let's go and get combined arms because, yeah, I don't really care. Well, I mean, I guess orbital hydroponics,
Made superior.
they themselves aren't useful. It's more so what I get afterwards, which are better farms.
System survey complete.
Some unusual energy readings. Sure, go ahead and check them out. Yeah, we got a xenophile faction, which I'm not a big fan of. You should also be moved. Chai. There we go. And now we have somebody who's actually benefiting there.
Achieved.
I could stand to get better. Well, I mean, we're doing fine on energy right now. You know, yeah, I'll get the hardened shields because that should lead me to actual shields further down the line. Let's go ahead and put the better computers on. Let's go ahead and upgrade you guys.
Our ships have been made superior.
That didn't really improve you at all, though, if we're going to be completely honest. Also, we got a bit of an error in calculations. The game over here says 530, but over here when I actually select it, it says 531. So there's a bit of a difference in the calculations there. You go ahead and do that anomaly now. You should be fine to succeed at it. Yeah, you guys are growing very slowly. And it's probably partly because I have an actual Terran pop growing, and so they get priority on growth. But it's still first come, first serve for growth. when it comes to who the game decides is going to get that tile. You need to be moved. You need to be moved. But I don't have anywhere I can really move you guys to right now. But once I have colonized a planet,
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
wonderful. You don't really care for the defense satellites. Game says this is critical, so I think... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with civilian fleet, because the game says it's a critical engineering research. It could be lying to me, though. It probably is, if we're completely honest here. It probably is lying to me about how critical it is. Let's go build a Franklin class. And let's go and actually research better naval capacity. Alien writing. So, yeah, our two choices are Andorians or Andorians. Okay, where's a decent place to put this, though? Looks like right here is the best place to put it. Sure, New Roanoke. Okay, now you go and research Altair, or survey it rather.
Construction complete.
Okay, we now have the ISS Clark. I don't know what the rocketry research actually is useful for in this mod, but we'll figure it out. Actually, how about you go there? Yeah, Epsilon Indy's not actually that great. Okay, now let's go ahead and upgrade our star bases. I'm going to get the game up to 3 speed. Here we go. So, unequal partners. With the rebellion put down, it is feared that the alien slaves of the Terran Empire may rise up again and attempt to overthrow their Terran masters. Empress Julieta I has therefore decided that in order to create a stronger empire and stifle any future dissent, an alliance as such should be made with one of the leading races of the former rebellion. The Vulcans would be an obvious choice, as Terrans have had dealings with them the longest, and it was their world and species that was conquered first. However, the Andorians and Tellarites were also key players in the rebellion, and making an alliance with either of them would be beneficial to the security of the Empire too. The race that is picked to be freed will have almost equal rights with Terrans and be allowed to command starships and lead armies and become governors. However, the throne will still be limited to Terran only, in order to keep the purity of the Terran Empire as intact as possible. I don't think it really matters who you select. I think it literally is just a flavor thing. Although I could be wrong about that, but we're just going to go with the Vulcans. And in like a year or two, we should get an event saying that it has been basically signed into law as an actual thing or whatever. I do want to go and get another... I would love to get a tech for core sectors. Oh, we actually have a really space age civilization here in Altair 3. Can't say I'm a big fan of that.
System survey complete. Construction complete.
You still have things you can do. You, I don't think really have much you can do right now. Well, give it about a month.
Construction complete.
Rise of the Vulcans. Oh, okay. It was much faster. I thought it was a year, but apparently I was remembering very wrong. It's probably because I wasn't looking at the timer back then, or at the clock back then. So, Empress Julieta I has decreed today that the Vulcan race is now free and stands equal amongst the Terrans. They will have nearly the same rights as Terrans, providing they swear fealty to the Empress and the Empire. The other alien races that remain as slaves throughout the Terran Empire are furious, but with the combined strength and power of the Terrans and their new Vulcan allies, they are all but powerless to do anything but silently scream in anger. So they're still slaves. Just want to note that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure all it does is basically trigger a hidden flag to appear that allows them to show up, because I'm pretty sure if we look at their rights, yeah, there's still limited military service. So theoretically, they can only, realistically speaking, produce armies. We technically speaking should not be able to recruit them as generals, admirals, etc. Apparently, I could give them full citizenship. A little surprised by that. Well, we're going to go slow with this whole integration stuff here of moving people to caste system. And specifically, they'll be moved to caste system residents, because then they cannot produce leaders, but they still get the benefits. They also use less consumer goods compared to normal caste system. So we're going to start with the Tellarites because they are the largest, although they're technically the largest tied with the Andorians, but you know, whatever. So, yep, we got a group here. They are pacifists and spiritualists. Wonderful people. We'll probably invade them at some point just for the hell of it. Target practice. There we go. I don't know if those guys are enough to cause the creation of an egalitarian faction. They might be. I don't think I actually have to make people slaves, the slave status for decadent pops to be fun. Actually, who the hell's decadent? Oh, the Orient are decadent. Okay, well, they're slaves anyway, so nobody cares about how they feel. Ooh, an alien vessel, an Altair 6A. And this is actually a fairly sizable world. We might end up with a change of plans here. Moving to Altair 6 instead of whatever that was up there. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go and get Mineral Silo, because it'll unlock access to better mines. So now, technically speaking, we have a better constructor that we can build. Are we going to build it? No, there's no reason to. We are, however, going to build the better troop transport, so that it has 2 of the, engineering slots. So I can have even extra armor, which, I mean, it may not be that useful, we'll see. And I forgot to add the better hull plating to our combat ships. But yeah, so technically now our transports are a little bit better.
Our ships have been made superior.
Now that didn't really do anything, apparently. Giving them slightly better hull plating. Gave them armor, but apparently it wasn't good enough for the game. I've seen this event too many times before to care to read it again. So, try to get out of range. Wait and see. Must do nothing. Voila. They now have the meticulous trait. And they gain a bunch of experience. However, I don't know if they actually gained that experience because they had the Arrested Development trait already. Huh. Oh well, I don't know. You know, I am kind of on the... You know what? I think I am going to change of plans, guys. You're going to Altair 6. It's just better. And I'm going to put you here. New Troy, sure. Oh, wait, no, you're in... You know what? No, no. Go back. You go and do what you were originally doing. Sorry about that. Fine, whatever. Isabella, sure. Isabella's gonna be cold. Yeah, because no, I don't really... I'd rather have Terrans colonize Altera 6 because Terrans can live on the world better than Andorians. I completely forgot about the fact that we were sending Andorians over there.
System survey complete. Anomaly found.
No, leave it be for now. Let's go and upgrade some of our star bases. Get them up to level 3. Two more months. Yeah. Go, you're gonna be going up to level 2 now. You know, actually, for future colony ships, give them the better jump drive. It's gonna make them a little bit more expensive.
Construction.
Looks like only by about 10 minerals. But I think it's worth it.
System survey complete.
Because now they can actually jump a little bit further.
Achieved.
There we go. Yeah, see, this is a module for star bases. It says it unlocks the component, but I don't think we actually get it. Yeah, because there's no green here. So, or at least nothing on the UI there mentioning anything about green things. But you know, we're gonna go for that because our other choices are pretty crappy in my opinion.
Construction complete.
There we go. Let's go ahead and get clone vats. Because, yeah, that's the thing for deep space stations. That's a thing for deep space stations. So let's get mass cloning. Don't know why Clone Army is mentioned twice. Signs of battle.
Situation log updated.
You can go back after the fact. Yeah, the Orions are nice and weak.
System survey complete.
But yeah, so we got the Romulan Republic up here. We got the Klingons down here. I don't know if they start out divided or what the deal is, because when I played personally, I encountered a individual house like somewhere around here, and then they disappeared shortly thereafter, and I met the actual Klingon Empire. So I think they might start out divided, but I could be wrong. Because I don't think they were in a war or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the deal was there. Okay, yeah, it looks like releasing the Tellarites did not result in... granted, it could just be because most of the Tellarites were already sitting on tiles that were going to result in them getting enslaved again automatically. Who knows? I don't. Yeah, you know, I think that might have been the case. I think that might be the reason why we didn't have any real risk there. It's because I think the Andorians might have actually, or excuse me, the Tellarites might have actually all been sitting on those tiles. Yeah. I mean, you're egalitarian. If I check factions, the game says approximately 20% of our population is egalitarian. That actually embrace it. I do wish it would tell me exactly how many, because I don't have anywhere where I actually have a max total number of pops in my empire. I'd have to like go down the list here. I'd have to add all these up. But the game says 20% of all of this is egalitarian. I assume we don't have any humans that are egalitarian, or excuse me, rather Terrans. I mean, we might, but I would assume that's not the case. I'd assume most Terrans are militarist, xenophobes, or authoritarian. You're a materialist. Aha, you're a xenophile.
System survey complete.
You're a xenophile. You're egalitarian. You're egalitarian. So you have 2 egalitarians under our direct control. We have 1 on Tellar Prime. So that should be 3. Okay. So we have 3 egalitarians, if I am doing my math correctly there. I need 5 to form a faction. So the next pieces I would have moved into caste system would have been the Andorians. So how are the Andorians doing? Are any of them egalitarian? You are egalitarian for 4. You are as well, but you'd be automatically re-enslaved. Same with you. So we have 4. That would actually be possible issues. Yes, so it looks like I should be able to do the Andorians as well without any issue. So let's go ahead and move you guys into caste system.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Ah, definitely did my math wrong, apparently.
Anomaly found.
Yeah, go ahead and check it out. Let's go get phase discriminator. Really, you don't think hardened shield is better than armor plating? Because I do. The damage reduction, although it's only 1%, it's probably not really worth it. Yeah, that's probably partly why the game says it ain't worth it. Let's get another destroyer out. Oh, and you failed that. Yeah, well, we ended up getting the faction because apparently I did my math wrong.
System survey complete.
But it's a fairly small faction. Let me see. Presumably suppressing still doesn't really work, but who knows? We'll try it.
Construction complete.
I do wish there's a little bit more you could do to try and deal with factions, but factions are a real pain in the ass to deal with once they form, because they actually gain a benefit just by purely existing. Just because there's an active political faction, you end up with the bonuses. Genova is having some problems, and because the game hasn't built it up, I'm going to have to do it for them. If I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to use the Denoblians for it. Screw it. They can defend their own home world.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
There we go. Let's go ahead and get Yeah, let's go and get that. Well, wait, what does this give me access to? Better ground defense, yeah, don't care.
Anomaly found.
An object of indeterminate size. Don't bother right now. You'd probably fail it. It's a 20% chance of failure, but you'd probably fail it nonetheless. Let's just be completely honest about that. Now, you're not really likely to be egalitarian in reality, but you switch randomly. Slaves radicalizing onto Noblia, or Denobula. But yeah, once they have their stuff built up, they should be fine. Go to Epsilon Indy.
Situation
Or Epsilon Indy, rather.
anomaly found.
No, don't bother. It's 20% chance of failure. Again, you probably fail it, and I don't really feel like having that occur. Because knowing my luck, you would lose your ship. And obviously yourself as well. Now, sadly, I'm not getting the tech for directly colonized systems,
System survey complete.
which is kind of annoying. Because that's something I would actually like to have. You need a biolab. Same with you.
System survey complete.
You're upset. You're a xenophile.
Construction complete. Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Mining network, thank you. Let's get the better ships, if you don't mind. Ooh. Ah, yeah, you know what? The Verteron array could be useful. And by could be useful, I mean it definitely is useful.
Updated.
And hopefully it won't bug out on me this time. Because it bugged out on me when I was playing for myself. Okay. Increases blank of all our troops by 20%. I assume that's supposed to be damage. But for some reason it doesn't say damage. Yeah, I guess I'll go for Frontier, more so for the finisher.
Construction complete. Anomaly found.
Yeah, go and research, it's 5%. Go and get those upgraded. Swirling Shadows.
System survey complete. We have established a new planetary base.
Let's get better biolabs. I know, game, I know. You're upset. Now I can move some people here if I wanted to, and I probably will. Okay, here we go. Replace you with a Verteron array. Well, later actually, not right this second. More so because one, we can't afford it, but two, we also couldn't afford the maintenance on it.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and get this because I could stand to get better power plants right now, game. You know, since the faction's already formed, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. Because I'm gonna have to deal with it no matter what. So we'll speed up this whole moving people to caste system.
Construction complete.
Oh. Actually, excuse me, in the case of the Vulcans, well, it's too late now.
Anomaly found.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Construction complete.
Survey completed. Interesting, albeit primitive design.
System survey complete.
God, I really want to get Alpha Centauri done. But it's so expensive. But it'll be so worth it. Eventually.
Construction complete.
Oh, I met the Tamarian Unity. So we'll fight for our right to exist. They're fairly sizable. But they are inferior to us in everything except for tech, where they are actually superior to us. Which I can't say I'm a big fan of. So we're going to build another destroyer as a result. I know it doesn't make any sense to build another destroyer to deal with that, but that's what we're going to do.
Construction complete.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's just what we're going to do.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Wonderful, and thank you, game, for actually giving me the Power Plant 3 tech right away.
Construction complete.
Okay, you go ahead, head down here, and survey all of these. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be able to build, but you're just not.
Construction complete. System survey complete.
What is your issue?
Construction complete.
Just planet habitability, okay. Yeah, there's not much I can do about that. I mean, theoretically, we could eventually terraform all our worlds, but yeah, I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Let's go ahead and learn how to... Ooh, that actually sounds interesting. Police stations and museums. This is the path to reduce unrest and increase unity production. Sounds fun. Also, I think I might build a penal colony on La Isabella, just for the hell of it. It also decreases unrest around the entire empire by 10. Not a whole lot, but you know, it's something. I just wish that penal colonies actually provided some bonus to that planet as well. Such as, oh, I don't know, maybe an increase to food production or mineral production, or, you know, just something worthwhile like that. But no, it doesn't, sadly, so, yeah. Ooh, we have some Andorian authoritarians. That sounds very interesting. Mountain ranges or deep sinkholes? We have 3 mountain... well, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong things anyway. We have a mountain range on Earth. We have 2 on Mars, so those should get cleared automatically upon the completion of the Verteron array doing its terraforming, so I don't really need to learn how to clear those. We have a mountain range on Lisabella. We have 2 on Andoria, 3 on Pajem. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So that we're going to want to learn how to clear mountain ranges. Don't bother with that right now. What is this building? That's a deep space station building. Don't care then.
System survey complete. Anomaly found.
Oh, well, I mean, if you can't fail that period, then go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and build you a power plant. Yes, I know I'll be losing some food, but I don't really care. Ooh, okay. This event, yes. So, 8 years ago, Chief Science Officer Melissa Steele was stationed at this outpost, barely managing to beam off the research station with the last personnel on the ground before an ionic disruption cut off the transporter connection. The disruption field has finally abated for a few days, allowing the crew of the ISS Walter Aurelia to retrieve a wealth of scientific data left behind in the evacuation. As the away team searches for a computer terminal, they notice signs that someone has been living here. Melissa Steele detects life signs on her tricorder and moves to investigate the signal. Suddenly, a voice cries out and she dashes into the room, phaser at the ready, and comes upon a person that looks exactly like her. After a few moments of shock, the person explains that she was trapped on the research station after a failed transport attempt 8 years ago. And because we're fanatic militarists, we can just say, we will not be fooled by a shapeshifter, set phasers to kill. You know what? We're going to do that. The away team were unable to gather data in time due to damage inflicted on the station's power grid by the shapeshifter. The crew had to beam out before the distortion field returned to avoid being stranded until the next transport window. That shapeshifter sabotaged our station. Good riddance. Yeah, no, they really didn't. They were telling the truth. We just didn't care because, hey, we don't trust them.
Survey complete. System survey complete.
Oh, now you're up to equivalent. Can't say I'm a big fan of that. It's gonna pump out a couple of patrol frigates then. And in 9 months we'll get better power plants, which will be helpful.
Construction complete.
About 3 more years and the Vulcans will calm down. Looks like the Andorians have already calmed down, but they're still not quite ready to give up their whole egalitarian business. Ooh. Pyrus and Cyrus. Or Cirrus, rather. We're going to send the first fleet to deal with it. More so because, well, they're going to be able to use the experience better than the Defiant can. Because when Maxwell Forrest inevitably dies, we can't really use the Defiant effectively anymore.
Ravens have destroyed one of our mining stations. Construction.
We'll live. We'll live. They're trying to run away. They're damn fast. Holy crap. The hell do they have?
Construction complete. Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, planet gets some engineering. Don't really care, but hey, you know, it's a thing. Oh. Okay, yeah, sort of forgot about that. That gets me better computers. Yes, please. Better computers game, thank you. Destroyer build costs down 10%. That could be useful. But so could theoretically defense satellites. Not so much for them, but for later techs. Because I assume, because I know I can, well, I'm pretty sure you can still build, unless they made it a tech. They might have made it a tech. Yeah, okay, I think they made it a tech. Never mind then. They're not actually as useful as I was thinking they were. I was thinking it was still like the base game where if you wanted to build habitats, you had to get mega engineering or whatever it is. Basically the ability to build fortresses or whatever the top tier defensive station is. But it looks like that's not actually the case. So never mind, let's go ahead and get mass scaled lithium refining. Because we do have some raw lithium that we could use to get processed lithium, which will give us some extra naval capacity for just the cost of the building alone, which, I mean, the building's kind of expensive, so not as useful. But, you know, it's a thing. Leave that be for now. Oh, one of our science ships doesn't have a job. Go ahead and survey some more. And then I guess jump all the way over here and survey these. I really don't care to gather the specimen game. I really don't. No, you're not going to Earth, you idiots. Go to Andoria. I don't want you guys going to Earth and getting stuck in with the fleet there. Also, who would lose? Oh, we lost our governor. Oh, well, it was the governor with the rest of development, so who cares? I'm gonna go with you because you have Iron Fist, and Iron Fist could be useful. And also, holy crap, that's a lot of... I now have the minerals to go and build all the mining stations I can around Alpha Centauri. Let's do it, because that's quite a bit of engineering as well there. Sure, Pergium. Do we even have any planet with Pergium? I don't think we do. I mean, that's a useful tech for the future, certainly, but right now I don't think it is. No, as far as I can see, it's not actually that useful for me to have right now. But sure, game, I'll take it now. This way I know at least I have it. Though I suppose I should also check to see what the other techs are before actually committing to that. So what are the other techs? Yeah, let's go for Pergium. Also, we now have cruisers. Surprisingly, the game did not auto-construct one for us like it typically would. So here we go, and we're going to let it name it, yeah, sure, whatever, Constitution class. It's clearly not the Constitution, but, I mean, this is the NX refit, but you know what, game? I don't care to rename it, so I'll let you name it the Constitution class. Spatial torpedoes as well, if you don't mind, game. They're much better than nuclear torpedoes. And ranges are, yeah. That sets you to go out to a range of 25 and just sort of hold that range with the enemy. Because that's the range of your spatial torpedoes. So this is our not really a Constitution class cruiser. And we'll build one of those eventually. Once we can actually afford it. Which we'll eventually be able to afford it. We're just watching and waiting. We didn't research anything that I needed to equip onto our ships, correct? No, it doesn't look like it. Sure, 10% chance of failure. Go ahead and try it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. The game doesn't have a need for me to put those reactors on. Although, yep, there you go, game. Constitution class could still get a bonus for whatever reason you really want to slap the EPS manifold 1 on there rather than the EPS manifold 2, which is better because it does the same job, but it does that same job better. But for whatever reason, the game does not want to ever equip the Tier 2 version to it. By default, I don't know why. I assume it's an issue with the game not understanding the upgrade path as a result of changes made by the mod. Is that the...
System survey complete.
I think this frontier outpost is very close to a system that has a lot of dilithium on that planet. In fact, there's an event that should occur eventually that sort of spawns people on that world. And I think that gives us the TOS Mirror Universe episode plot, if I recall correctly. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. More so because I like the idea of the re-education campaigns. Because it's something that could be useful. And by could be useful, I mean is going to be useful. Oh, do I not need... Oh, I don't need tier 4 for cruisers. Wonderful.
System survey complete.
That is wonderful, because then I could theoretically save up the minerals to build a NX refit Constitution class cruiser at Andoria to go with the First Fleet, to be used by the First Fleet to crush the Orion Syndicate, or Free States, rather, excuse me, at some point in the future. Can't say I'm a big fan of you guys being equivalent to me, though, across the board, but you know what? A nice cruiser should deal with that. Also, Lisabella, let's get you a spaceport, because that'll also help me a little bit with the naval capacity stuff.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Thanks for the Pergium, let's go ahead. Ooh. Now you have me. Okay, game. Okay. You sort of got me here. Because better alloys are useful, but so are better torpedoes. I'm inclined to go with the better torpedoes because I think they're going to be much more useful. However, they're only useful until I get... God damn it. Until I get the torpedoes. Not these torpedoes. The actual... Proton? Yes, I believe. I don't know why I'm confusing them right now. But yes, so the standard torpedoes that we should be getting, that technically speaking we actually probably should have already had, but whatever. Yeah, we'll go with the torpedoes.
System survey complete.
Yeah, that's expensive. 10 energy credits. And
System survey complete.
I believe it is 1. Yes, I believe it's 10 naval capacity per refined lithium. I believe. I could be remembering wrong. Also, that reminds me. Ooh. Dilithium refineries on planets might be more useful than... Well, that depends. I don't think it can actually... No, I don't... Yeah, I don't think it can utilize the serviced lithium posits. So it's not actually that useful. Never mind. Mining network there. Mining network there, if you don't mind, game. And now I know how to clear mountains. Let's go and get some of these upgrades done. Ooh. Well, I should be doing fine on energy credits for the most part, so I don't really need that.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Wonderful, let's go ahead and learn how to... let's get that, that's useful. And let's get shields, thank you very much. Yeah, shields are more useful, I think, overall. Okay, now we have choices for re-education campaigns. Are we going to use them? Probably not, because I'm pretty sure they're still broken. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're still broken. Though I would love to be wrong about that. If we're completely honest. Okay, let's go ahead and free the... Well, not really free, but rather give a tier up in rights to the Genoblians. Because I kind of sort of forgot about them.
System survey complete.
Go and do it. So, your reason... What are you doing? Are you upgrading?
Construction complete.
Yes, looks like you are, but you're very slow. I presume it's probably because I'm taxing your minerals so high. We'll go down to 50% temporarily.
System survey complete.
Junkyard, wonderful. Lisabella, let's upgrade your spaceport. And then we'll be fine. And I'll be ending this part in just a moment. upgrade that. Oh, I still get the service lithium. It doesn't actually show up, sadly, there. Oh, Tellar Prime is getting some issues now. But Terran's in charge of defending. And by defending, I mean keeping the peace. Oh, Andoria. Build me an NX refit. Constitution class. You are done. Go there. Almost got the mineral, or the energy credits to be able to afford the Verteron array, which will be useful. Assuming it works properly. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, you got the New Worlds trait. Is it any use? I don't know. Wait, who got it? Oh, one of our scientists that for some reason the game is saying is on Pajem. I'm fairly certain they're not on Pajem. Pretty sure they're in a lab somewhere here. On Earth. Which I'm somewhat surprised isn't renamed to Terra, but whatever. I might just do that myself.
Construction complete. System survey complete.
Upgrade that.
Construction complete.
Upgrade that. Pajem. Let's go ahead and clear those mountain ranges. Mars. Let's go ahead and replace this with a Verteron array. You are done. You have nothing left to do outside of exploring space outside of our territory now. So the choices are: do we want to meet? Do we want to meet the Klingons, the Romulan Republic, the Ferengi, or the something or other corporate? For a corporate, that was their name. Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I kind of would prefer to meet the Klingons before I would meet anybody else, because the Klingons aren't gonna want to kill me as much. Romulan Republic, I want to declare war on me, that I know for certain. The Klingons, though, we are pretty similar ethics-wise, so we'll get along, unless there's a special modifier that the game has, or that the mod has added. Ooh, terraforming candidate. That's a pretty, well, it's a decent-sized world, I guess. I do want to say, though, I think it is roughly the same size as the planet it orbits. So that's got to screw with the waves and whatnot on the planet, I imagine. Or the tidal, the tides. If you have a moon that's roughly the same size as the planet it's on, or that it orbits, rather. What was that we just got? Oh yeah, the society thing. That's fine. I'll end the part once we have our... Oh, we actually do have Pergium here. Never mind, I didn't realize that. I somehow completely missed that. I don't know how I completely missed that. But, yeah, I did, so... I think you'd actually be better over here, especially if I build a hydroponics there. Oh, okay, okay. The fleet has its NX refit that we are naming the Constitution class, because we are. Somewhere in here it should be. Oh, is it hidden? It might be hidden behind the star base. We built it, right? Yeah. I don't see it. Oh, that's it. See, it looks so much like an actual NX. I should have realized that that was it, because we don't actually have the NX class, the normal one. So, the ISS de Gaulle. Sure. That sounds like a wonderful name for it.
Anomaly found.
Yep, go ahead and check it out. Power plant there if you don't mind, and a hydroponics farm there if you don't mind. And we have the Verteron array. Might need to wait till the end of the month.
System survey complete.
Am I gonna need to... Ooh. Because... Well, it says it's producing. No, it's not producing it. Do I need an actual human on it? Yes, I do need an actual Terran to be on it. Okay. So now it is actually producing it. So once a month we gain a terraforming progress on Mars. And technically speaking, the happier the pops, the faster they produce it, I believe. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this part. And actually, one thing I forgot to go and mention, I believe, at the start of this series, or at the start of this video, was that there's not going to be an episode of my normal Stellaris campaign as the Gorb Collective this week, just because I'm having some personal issues with the campaign right now. And so I'll be, taking a short break while I sort those out. It's mostly issues getting acquainted with the fact that they have upgraded the AI to where it's actually doing a decent job of pushing back. Plus the fact that I've got some neighbors that should hate one another but don't hate one another because reasons. And so, yeah, I'm just going to need a little bit of a break from that one to get acquainted with it. So, like I said, no part of my normal Stellaris is the Gorb Collective right now. At least this week. There should be a part next week, I believe, but we'll see. Also, the part after this one should be in 1440p, because as of the day I'm recording this, I'm supposed to be getting a new monitor that is a higher resolution, higher refresh rate, yada yada yada. So in the relatively near future, we'll be having 1440p content now rather than 1080p. Does it really mean much? Not really. I don't think so. Slightly longer render times as a result of that, though. So yeah, I'll have to get acquainted with adjusting when I set things to render. But yes, so I'll see you all in the next part, but until then, a goodbye and farewell.